What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Witcher, and last time we made our way through this new... I don't even know what to call this area. I mean, fish people area? We went through what I'm pretty sure was a haunted field in the middle of the night with some pretty not so pleasant music that may have made me a little unnerved. But now we're here in the day, and clearly things are much happier. Much friendlier. And we found our way into the inn, so we are no longer wandering aimlessly through an open field where it felt as if we were going to be ambushed by something big, scary, and powerful at any given point in time. So I'm glad to at least temporarily be somewhere where it feels like we're a little bit more safe. Ooh. And, of course, that does mean looting everything in sight. What? There are multiple innkeepers? I did not see you before. I saw the other innkeeper.
What? You think everything's small in the country?
I meant no offense.
How can I help?
Sorry.
Where's the village mayor?
There's a large hut in the village where the mayor spends his time, but he lives in another large hut, so...
I'll
What?
find it.
Yeah.
How can I help?
Let's see. So...
Any interesting news?
Oh, wedding, that's what.
Everybody wants to tell us about the
He's
wedding.
marrying a townsman called Julian. He's staying here at my inn.
Oh, we did see him. For some reason I thought that was the brother-in-law to be. Apparently there's one thing, though, that we must tell him. If we traded it all
One
away,
thing.
Yes?
wouldn't that be something? Hmm...
You
Eh?
must know some interesting stories.
Sure, I'm an innkeeper. Long ago, in a valley far away, lived a girl. She was a true princess, sorceress, and witcheress.
All three? Isn't that a bit much?
Don't interrupt. You want to hear the story or not?
Sorry, go on.
Won't interrupt again.
I'm
A
enthralled.
story about destiny might prove useful, Witcher. She was born a princess who wanted for nothing, had loving parents and a grandmother who was a great queen. She lived in palaces guarded by hundreds of knights. Everyone thought she'd become a powerful queen, but fate had other plans. Her parents died.
Oh, that's
Enemies
tragic.
butchered her grandmother and took the kingdom.
Also tragic.
Still, the princess survived. Her fate became bound to one particular witcher. She gained a new family at Kaer Morhen, the hold of the witches. She learned to fight, yet destiny once again made
This
noise.
sounds a little
Lass
too
had
specific
magical talent.
to be true.
She was a
Or to be
sorceress.
false, rather.
The
Pretty sure
witches
this is true.
feared the uncontrolled power of a sorcerer and needed a sorceress to assist them.
This
She
Tris.
studied arcane magic. The sorceress loved a witcher, and the two adopted the girl. She was truly happy and could have become a powerful sorceress. But
Odd.
war broke out and fate separated the family. Aggrieved, the lass disavowed magic and became a huntress, learning to love killing. Death.
No, but Triss was
followed.
never actually a Witcher.
Everyone she'd loved had died. Only the Witcher and the Sorceress denied death's calling. Fate cast her to foreign shores, yet she returned. The worst assassin tailed her, yet she emerged victorious. Agents of all kingdoms pursued her, yet none caught her. When she killed all her enemies and peace descended upon the world, she rejoined the Witcher and Sorceress, only to have destiny sneer at her again.
What happened?
A peasant, unskilled in arms, killed the Witcher.
Yeah, that's
The
us.
Sorceress died trying to revive him.
We're the
The
Witcher.
girl could do
Sorceress,
nothing
I would have
before
thought,
she
would have been
disavowed
Triss.
magic.
And the girl,
So,
I have
the
some
princess
suspicions as to who it
would
might be,
not
but I don't
win.
think we've technically met her yet, so I'll keep my
Witcheress
mouth
who
shut.
fought humans, and the sorceress who cast no spells used her power as a means to leave this world.
I sense you haven't told all.
All but one. Her name was Cyrilla.
Mm-hmm.
What's that matter?
Yeah. I believe that is the person I was thinking of, though I think we're going to get to know her by slightly different name.
One thing.
Yes?
It's also awfully presumptuous.
You look sad. Can I help?
Perhaps. Crooked Lou and Bucktooth Bow stole a case of best firewater. Return it,
Firewater?
and a useful artifact is yours.
What artifact?
It was a jest.
Not funny.
Your question reminded me of some old games. I couldn't resist.
What?
No matter.
How can I help?
Okay,
One
actually
thing.
though,
Yes?
let's store some stuff. Because that is definitely something we'll be looking to do. Do we have room for that? It scrolls down. Here I was thinking we had a limited amount of space. We don't. It's unlimited. That opens so many new doors for us. Dump everything in that case. Why not? You go in the stash. You go in the stash. You go in the stash. You stay here. We'll keep the ready-made poisons. We read this? Oh! We had this? And we haven't read it yet? Because I thought I remembered seeing... Was it the Hermit that we saw not long ago had this? So, oops. Definitely make sure to do that. Keep more clean. Oh, and we had this too! There's another thing that we saw that the Hermit was trying to sell. This one says, scrolls contain formulae for the following potions. Wolverine increases damage inflicted when vitality drops to 50%. Okay. Willow increases resistance to knockdown and stun effects. Not sure that happens enough for that to be super useful. Increases damage caused to ornithosaurs, which I'm pretty sure is basically all the dragon or dragon-like creatures. So that could be useful. We certainly have found our fair share of dragons, especially earlier we were seeing how it seems like there's a lot of them in this area. Is perhaps a little bit concerning. Keep the potion, keep the clay coating. Again, we will dump crafting bases, I think, except for a few potion bases, because we probably should make some potions arguably right now. Because we're out of some of the key ones. Like, having something to heal us in some variety would definitely be helpful. That's what to do. Look at that. Now we have all the space in the world. Okay. So now we can, like, actually loot all of your barrels and not have to worry about whether or not we'll have space. So that's cool. Alright. Other people in here that we ought to talk to. Lots of wedding guests, or potential wedding guests. Dandelion is, of course, here. Random gambler? So you know we're going to talk to them.
Yes?
We're just going to ignore the fact that you look exactly like the blue-eyed woman from Azima.
So, you like to gamble?
Yeah.
I love gambling.
Female gamblers are rare.
So are interesting men. If you don't care to play, leave.
Okay, that was a very, very strange conversation. Also, these stakes seem significantly lower than the ones that we would normally find. As of late, would lead me to believe this person is technically not a quote-unquote expert. Ooh, we both got 2 pairs, and we have a pair of 6s, but so does she, and she also has a pair of 5s. So, unfortunately, he is beating us at the moment. So, we can do a good hand still. Obviously, we'll reroll this. Could argue that we should have tried rerolling the 1s. We really need either 1 or a 6 here. That's the only way we're gonna beat her. Unless she does something silly. Yeah. Unless she does something silly here and rerolls something that is already good, that she has, and she didn't. Yep. Definitely beating us that round. There's basically nothing riding on this at the moment. Okay. It's actually pretty close to a straight. 2-2 is our pair, so I mean, that's the only thing we actually have right now. But if we were willing to get rid of one of those, if this went to a 1 or a 6, then we would have 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 if this were a 6, or starting off with a 1 if this were 1, so we have a straight. And, of course, you have a pair of 6s, so... I mean... Let's keep the bet really low, and we're gonna go for the straight. Just a 1 in 3 chance, which I guess isn't terrible. And that's not going to help us no matter what. Because a pair of 3s is not good enough. Yep. And I think we lost about 4, or forget if that total carries over from round to round or not. So it was either 4 or 8. Either way, basically nothing. And whoa! Excuse me? Professional fist fighter, and what? You have a mask on? For a second, I thought you were wearing sunglasses. I was like, oh, this guy's just too cool for us. And he does also have hearts on his bracers, so that's a thing.
I'm itching to hit someone.
The Rock? You? Wait, Dwayne? Is that really you? Dwayne, how you been, man?
I heard you beat Butterbean and Fat Fred.
And Gablada. I'm looking for a worthy opponent.
Then welcome. They call me The Rock.
Sounds ominous.
I'm in
Wanna
many
fight a
different
real
movies, and I'm actually the
What's
top
the wager?
grossing actor in the
500
US.
rings.
Ooh.
No rules apply?
Bye.
Okay, I'm not sure if that was like a, hey, no rules applied, by the way, let's start fighting. I don't think so. Based on how you are not fighting us right now.
500.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Let's do it. How tough is he really gonna be? We're gonna see. I need to improve to beat The Rock? Excuse me. You're trying to imply that we are not ready to face The Rock? We are the WWE champion. I think. We're about to find out. Nope. Looked like he really wanted to hit us there, but then we stopped him.
I'm itching to hit someone.
And potentially there too. Yeah! He's not so bad, right? Oh, Daryl, you can stop now. You beat him. He's done.
Congratulations, champ. Before you collect your reward, know another fight awaits.
What?
Go to the swamp, where you'll meet the Nameless One. Choose your reward.
What? Oh, I didn't remember you saying that these were the various rewards, but we did accidentally trade a meteorite for something that we did not need a little while back, so I don't know which color meteorite you're going to give me, but I feel like that's the way to go.
Meteorite steel.
Here. Indeed. Of this oblivion.
Which color did you give? Yellow? It was the red, I think, that we got rid of earlier by mistake. This does look pretty good, too. Damage, plus chance of pain, stun, precise hit. Sounds very similar to what we have on Carball. Potentially even with other meteorites, if those bonuses are additive, and we could be looking at something that's even better. Pretty awesome. Okay, now, I mean, Mask Dude.
Who's this? The famous Whitey?
Hey!
Shame not to fight you. You in?
Apparently our name gets round. Or our nickname. Professional Fist Fighter. I'm assuming we can put a lot on this. Because the normal Fist Fighters will bet up to 20. The Tough Fist Fighters will bet up to 50. I'm guessing you will go up to 100. Which, at that point, I mean, you're talking, that's actually a somewhat significant sum. In one fight. How tough is he really? We're about to find out.
The white-haired one in action.
Indeed.
Alright, Carol. Don't let it go to your head, buddy. Yep, and fortunately missed there.
Fight like
You
a man.
being our opponent. Also, he has multiple voices, which is a little intimidating. I was told that we were only fighting one person right now, not several. Can't help but feel like you misled us. But also, I don't think you hit us once. So there's that. Come on. Hey ya.
Beat me good, Whitey. A worthy reward.
Alright. Also,
Or watching.
he's carrying... It's a little hard to tell from this angle, but he's carrying knives in his belt. Are those just belt
Who wants
straps?
to get slapped?
Really strange belt straps? Okay, no, I take it back. I think they are just straps. Alright, one of you guys needs... put a sock in it.
Want a beating, stranger? We fight for money.
I think you are just a normal fist fighter. Yeah, so you're a boring kind. I'm sorry. You are low stakes. So, given how the previous fight went, you're probably going to be more difficult than the last guy. Because, well, like I said, last guy did not do any damage to us, I don't think. So, oh, no, you heal when we hit you with that last hit. Okay. He healed just so we can hit you a few more times, for good measure.
You
Okay.
win.
20 coins, not
Who
that
wants to get
much.
slapped?
And
I'll
we
mix into it
have
someone.
you tough fist fighters. Are you actually all ready to fight us, or are some of you just gonna talk trash? You look like you will actually fight. So, I mean, these guys start at 20, and then you can go up to 50 with them. I don't know if that's an indication as to what would
Bring
that
it
be.
on.
100... a 2.5 time multiplier, if you will. 250%. In that the amount that they offer to bet at the beginning, you can increase it by that much, or they'll reach their threshold. So I wonder if that's the same for that professional fist fighter that we ran into earlier. We fought first, or well, technically second. And that would suggest that we could actually go higher than
You're not
100.
bad. It's no shame losing to the white-haired one.
Because he did accept our offer at 100. We might have been better served to test this guy's limits a little bit more and see, hey, would
Who
you
wants to get
accept like
slapped?
500 just for experiment's sake, for science
No
sake?
challengers?
Okay, so you're just a trash talker. You will actually fight.
Greetings, Whitey. Got money? Wanna fight?
So, I mean, collectively, you fight all these guys. That's what? 2 people who will fight for 50. That's 100. And another guy who will at least fight for 100, so that's 200 total. And another normal person who will fight for 20, so that's at least 220 if you're successful with all the
Bring it
fights.
on.
Which, I mean, that's something. At this stage, we are certainly capable of getting more than that for completing a quest, but it's not insignificant. And we did have a quest or two not long ago where we burned a bunch of cash, like the one where we paid like 500 coins with the blue-eyed woman just to confirm that she was getting bitten by a vampire. And we never got that money back. So,
You're not
see
bad.
this as a way to
It's no
recoup that
shame
investment a
losing
little
to
bit.
the white-haired one.
Okay, that appears to be everyone. And that was
Oh my.
weird that we almost had other music, but then it seemed like everyone was overcome with Dandelion's amazing playing.
I wish to reach the island, but that growling fisherman refused to take me.
It sounded like the fisherman was more than willing to take us.
That Alina sure catches my eye.
I think she's about to get married, dude. So, also, you are a wedding guest? Really? I think the wife-to-be is quite interesting to me. What, she's taken? Oh, not yet. Yeah, we could take our dried fruit if we really wanted to. So you know I will. Okay. Assuming all these other people are fairly insignificant. Sorry. Let's get out of here. And hope that the music in the daytime is much more pleasant. Is it? I think we've heard this music before. Yes, we have. Okay. Ooh, breathe a sigh of relief. In and out. Okay. Our Witcher contract for Devours. We did see some of these earlier, okay. Giant centipedes. We heard about these, but we haven't seen one yet. Not sure if we should be terrified or not. Wyvern egg. Does that just mean any old wyvern? Because I think we have seen a wyvern contract in the past and completed it. I don't know if it's any different from that. Okay. And Alps we have seen too. They're the ones that I am constantly blurring the screen for, because they are not appropriately dressed. Alright, got a hold of Devour Teeth. We may actually have already picked up some from those early encounters. Don't cast them away. Bring 10 sets to the Witch's Hut. For a second I read that as Witcher's Hut. Reward paid in pure gold. Okay, I like it. These contracts do start to take up a lot of space. I mean, that's 5 of them right here. Peekmore's from the previous town, so I mean, we might not really be able to put that to use anymore. It might be worth getting rid of it. And giant centipedes. Yup. Oh, by the Elven camp to turn that in? The Elven Craftsman. Don't think we have met said Elven Craftsman yet, which is potentially a little concerning, seeing as how the elves tend not to like us. Wyvern eggs, what? Face them? We'll pay for 3 eggs. The innkeeper. Oh, yay! Weird. Buy basilisk hides, well preserved ones only, good money. Julian. Oh, we didn't talk to Julian, who's the soon-to-be groom. So we probably should talk to him about that. And then the Alps. Chief of Murky Waters. Not sure we technically have the Alp entry in our bestiary or not. We may not. Okay, so I'm going to go back and talk to Julian, because it seems like he is one of the most significant people in town, seeing as how absolutely everybody will not stop talking about how he's getting married. Okay, your hand placement there was a little questionable, buddy.
I've heard a lot of good things about your kind.
That's right. Usually people treat me like a leper.
Yeah,
Not in my
you know,
house.
after what you were just
When I
doing a
was
minute
child,
ago,
I
that
heard
is
many
not really something I
tales
want to
of
hear
a
you
witcher
say.
Who saved my grandfather's life in exchange for a silver penny.
That must have been a while back. I'm Geralt.
Oh yes, in the olden days. I'm Julian. It's a pleasure.
Okay. No, we did just read the notice, but we've certainly not done anything with it yet. I mean, if it's your grandfather, I assume we couldn't have been that Witcher. I don't know if Witchers age at the normal rate, or if we age more slowly, so it would still be possible. But I'm assuming it would be a different Witcher, other than
Tell me the
us.
story of your grandfather.
Grandfather, may Melitele watch over his soul, had a plot of land. A piece of a rocky, frozen valley in northern Kovir, and a deserted coal mine with no coal. Grandfather always said that a treasure was concealed in the valley. He worked hard
Go
every
on.
year to discover that treasure. Initially, many gladly took the jobs he offered and helped. But soon it became clear that Grandfather had gone mad, that there was no treasure.
But are
When
you
he was
sure?
47, had rheumatism and a collection of Bobolak scalps above his mantle, he was overcome with grief and went outside. He began cursing the heavens, berating all the known gods in the foulest language he knew. The gods answered. There was a terrible rumble, and an avalanche descended on the valley. Grandfather regained consciousness.
He asked for it?
Burrowed out of the snow and looked around to see something that would change his life. The entire valley was glimmering strangely, glimmering so beautifully that he nearly didn't see the beast coming towards him with a heavy gait.
Oh.
Grandfather fled, bending over once to pick up a strangely glimmering stone. In short, he escaped. Descending from the mountains, he encountered a witcher who agreed to slay the monster in exchange for a silver penny. They returned to the valley,
That sounds
and
like
the witcher
quite a bargain.
slew the beast. He could not help noticing the wealth laying in that valley, yet he demanded nothing beyond the penny promised him earlier. Grandfather grew to trust him and knew that sooner or later someone or something would come along and want to take his treasure, for the treasure in the valley was immense, Geralt. Diamond deposits that took years to extract. They became partners. The Witcher watched the workers, killed monsters, drove off bandits, and Grandfather managed the business. He's a legend in Kovir, and my family is wealthy and respected. That's the whole story.
So why are you here in the middle of nowhere, wearing some not-so-glamorous clothing, doing some questionable things in taverns? But also, what's up?
Soon I'll marry the village mayor's daughter, Alina. We're planning our wedding as we speak.
Wholesome. More wholesome than what you were doing a minute ago. And I am kind of curious how you are apparently a traitor. I don't know. A censored version of the famous tome of Alzur the Mage who spells for the creation of horrid monsters. What? Should we be concerned that you have this? Other books as well? Diary of a Dice Collector? 50 coins? That's pretty cheap. Done that. Done that. We've read that. We've read that. We've read that. And we've not read this. Ooh. I mean, I have reason to believe this is a story about what we've done. I am a little curious about this. I think that we can actually sell our many jewelries that we've recently stocked at the innkeeper's stash to this guy, and maybe that justifies buying some of this stuff. Which, again, there's always that probability. And it might be kind of high that eventually we would just find that stuff of our own accord and we wouldn't have to pay for it. But at least in this case, if it gives us some useful information, then it does give us that early on, so we don't need to worry about, like, are we taking out enemies that would drop things? But unfortunately, we don't have the entry in which to collect the items that they would otherwise drop. Look at how many rings we have right now. It's kinda crazy. There's even more. We could sell gloves and scarves and shawls and all that stuff. And those do have some purpose, but also, let's stash the yellow meteorite, which we do now have 2 of. Can we trade a blue for a red or yellow? Yellow is just an objectively better version of red. Okay. I mean, again, I wish we had 3 of either of these things so that we could actually make something out of them, but okay. Oh, I think you can mix and match, but doesn't it say need 3 pieces of meteorite? It doesn't say it needs to be 3 of the same type of meteorite, but using more than 1 piece of the same color provides special bonuses, which suggests that you really do want to have 3 of the same color. Okay. Any other rings or things of that nature that we ought to sell to this guy? Yeah, I think the next closest thing, like I said, would be all the clothing and other gift-like materials. Oh, and books. Sell that now that we've read it. Potentially sell some of these things now that we've read them. The other books, but I'm not sure if you're interested, will be interested in all of that stuff, or only the things that you are already selling. So we'll see what we can do here. But I think this is going to let us get a fair amount in return.
Get
Stuff, please. And, ooh. And, okay. So, yes, this book is not worth that much. Let's just make sure, hold on, before we go crazy selling the books. These are the ones we just bought from you. So let's make sure we read these first, because I think we have done this in the past, where we tried to get all clever, buying books and then reselling them, and then we forgot to actually read them in between. I'm pretty sure is what happened with the Kikimor book, which is why we weren't able to actually get items from Kikimor's for ever. Okay, so disenchanting a Striga. The Witcher then said to King Foltest, "Pay me, sire, and I will find your daughter in the Dark Tomb. I will restore her human form if I can, and if I cannot, then I will not hesitate to kill the princess." The king understood this was his only chance, and so placed his daughter's fate in the Witcher's hands. The conjurer struggled with the Striga for hours. He warded her off with silver and magic arts, grappled with the beast, and did not let her wound him, but avoided causing serious harm to her as well. Finally, he locked himself in the crypt, sealed the entrance with magic, and waited until dawn. Witchers possess great knowledge about monsters and know that the rooster's morning call is enough to disenchant a cursed creature. Oh, okay. Apparently. And yes, that does tell us more about Ada and ourselves. I suppose with our memory loss, that's I think that's useful to know. Alright, in this one, I don't fully know what to expect, seeing as how it's a censored version of something. I was vested with the thankless responsibility of preparing a new edition of the incomplete Tome of Alzur. Some of its pages have been torn out, which describes the methods of creating monstrous beasts. Whoever remembers the Koschei, we did see a book about that way back in Vizima in the Temple Order, but we don't know what that really is. Or the V of Maribor knows the evil the book has caused, especially the double cross of Alzur described therein. The following edition provides information on creatures such as the Frightener or the Koschei. Are those one and the same? Is that like a nickname for it? But does not contain the secrets of creating these beasts. To ensure safety, I would nevertheless suggest that readers never utter any formulae aloud and speak all vowels while inhaling. This book has entries for bestiary and ingredients. Oh, okay. Or exclusively talks about things that we already knew, because we didn't appear to have gotten anything from reading it. So, oops. Okay. We have read this one. Swamp Plants. Sell it. We have definitely read this. Oh! Very valuable. Definitely read this. And these are the ones that we just read. Yep. Anything else? And now I believe this as well. I believe we can now go crazy selling rings. I mean, I am curious as to how much these are all worth. And yes, I mean, they potentially serve some purpose, being able to bribe people and things of that nature, but I think for the most part, well, maybe we'll hold on to one of the cheap ones for that reason. But I think they're common enough, it seems, that we shouldn't be too hard-pressed to find more if we really need it. I think that's just about everything that we might want here. Buy and sell. Unless we want diamond dust, which this is, again, something where I really wish that it would say, is this permanent, is this temporary? Because, I mean, a permanent 40% increased damage obviously sounds fantastic. But if it only costs 40 coins to get this, then I have to assume that that's temporary. Similarly with the grindstones, I just don't know. I think we could potentially try throwing something on the silver sword, because it's not so valuable, so if we're wasting something, then it's not the end of the world. Whereas Carval, if it turns out that you can only use one of these things and use a grindstone for 20% increased damage, then you block yourself out from using the diamond dust, which is basically just a better version of it, and it is permanent, then I would feel pretty bad about that. So let's check back in with the innkeeper, because this is something that, for science sake, we probably ought to know. Do ourselves some favor. Do ourselves a favor, because if we're missing out on an easy increased 40% damage, then, I mean, that is a pretty significant upgrade that we're just leaving on the table here. And we could even stash that. We don't really have much reason to believe that we'd want to use the Witcher Steel Sword when Carvale is just better version of it. This does allow us to pick up another secondary weapon at some point, or heavy weapon at some point. And secondary weapon, we're still waiting to do that. And now remind me of what I was just saying we were going to do. I think diamond dust, right? We do have a lot of it. I'm going to take out 2. I'm going to try applying it to this and see what happens. But also, like, how does it work? Oh. Okay. Ignore the fact that we nearly killed the innkeeper. But also, it does seem, because we saw that little indicator up here, at least when we had our sword drawn, that there's likely a duration tied to it. So that is meaningful. Know that that's the way that works. Here's the way out. Let's see just how long it is. Will you let me draw my sword? Oh, you won't even let me draw my sword here either. So, apparently we will never know. I mean, you know it's 40% damage. But as for how long it lasts, I don't know. You tell me. Pretty sure we saw this earlier. And didn't have the space, but now we should. Healer. Okay. Oh, okay, you are over there. Didn't see you at first. But also, we have a bunch of cheap stuff that is not terribly valuable, but I'm going to take it anyway. Because we can. This is why we can't have nice things. It's also why I will drop the torch.
Welcome, wanderer.
I'm here on business.
Like everyone. When I was young, they came with flowers. Now they want fortunes, curses, or spells, damn them.
At least business is booming.
I can't complain.
Alright. Oh, okay, so you're the person with the devourer teeth. That means you're technically a witch, not a healer, because I believe the contract said the witch is looking for us to turn into devourer teeth.
Why don't you live in the village?
Gray-haired, but dim. Witches always live outside their villages.
I see.
Also, the tavern draws visitors to me. My needs are satisfied.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like the primary village is not here. I mean, we were talking about, I think in the last episode, how it seemed like, I mean, we've gone through this relatively large, barren area and haven't seen much of a settlement. And this is the closest thing we've seen to it, with 2 buildings next to each other. But apparently there is an actual village somewhere. And we have read both of those things. And for that reason, I believe this is probably not so meaningful for us to try to buy things. Although, admittedly, it did not really occur to me at any point that we could sell our crafting materials to people such as this witch. And I'm wondering just how valuable they might be. Is that worth trying to do at all, or is it not a huge deal? Like, that's 50 coins worth of ectoplasm. I think is fairly common, but I am a little reluctant to part ways with 100% of that stuff. In case we do in fact need it, and I think we did. We have a tiny, tiny bit of space here. But, yeah, you know, does probably make sense for us to sell, at least find some way to get rid of some of those fairly common things. I'm pretty sure we saw a bunch of places to get these still. Let's sell basically the things that we can pick up very easily, namely plant stuff. Crow's Eye, I don't think I've seen recently. There are some things that only grow in swamp areas. Ground and brain tissue, I'm pretty sure we're going to continue to be able to find very easily, because we heard that there's more drowners. We will fight more drowners soon. Didn't see if this was one of the plants that we had hanging around here. Bloodsuckers, I'm not sure if we've seen them since our relocation event. Same with Fool's Parsley. I think that might only be swamp stuff. So, not like we made a huge amount of coins off of those trades, but I think the key thing there is we just continue to give ourselves a little more space to work with. Which does mean that we could theoretically, of course, stash a lot of those things, because we did learn recently that, well, there's an unlimited amount of stash space after all. And yes, in case there was any wonder as to whether we could still find these things, there they are. These, though, we've not seen yet, or at least not had the room to pick up in the past. But this place is actually quite pleasant. When you go out here in the daytime, very different. Yes. Peaceful swans. Little river or pond. It's like a river. Okay, and now as we head on the road, let's see, where are we actually headed? Lakeside, Alina's house, or the Naiad bathing spot. I think this might be a decent time to go for the Naiad bathing spot. Namely, a place where we are expecting to run into drowners and other enemies. Because it's not nighttime at the moment, so that would lead me to believe that we are going to end up fighting enemies, that we might only need to fight the drowner enemies, and not other unpleasant foes. Making this a reasonable time. Take such a risk. Ooh. This little alcove here. Can we get around here? No? Huh? We have to go a loop around this way or that way? Looks like we might. Seems as though the direct route is not an option. So take your guess as to which way we need to go. Hello, friends. Oh, that looks like the village. And this looks very familiar. Not sure if I should take comfort in that or not. Did find what is theoretically a new area, or well, a new sub-area, where it appears as though this is what we're looking for. Someplace next to the water, where I'm guessing right by where that beach area is. Oh, it's a bridge. I was thinking it would be right here. It theoretically is. Oh, we might need to be here at night, on second thought. Yeah, I think so. Because I remember someone telling us not so long ago, hey, drowners only come out at night. So, I mean, we probably should have known that. Didn't really come as a surprise. Also, Han was another thing that I think we might have had to pass on earlier because we didn't have the space for it. I heard someone. Mason Harn. Also, what the heck is this?
A small chapel to some divinity who worships here.
I'm guessing those people? If I had to guess. I think we might have heard something about there being some sort of religious group here. This looks like a bridge to me. A broken bridge at that. Okay. We're right on top of it, so I can't tell. What's up, guys? Yeah? Will you talk to me?
Greetings. You'll not get any further. The bridge is destroyed.
It doesn't look uncrossable.
There's just
Challenge
forests
accepted.
and meadows over there.
Thanks for the warning. Need a witcher?
You're a witcher,
Yes.
sir.
Huh? Okay, I mean, I just asked you this, but sure.
My life's work stands at the edge of oblivion. You alone can help.
Oh!
What's the problem?
Oh, okay.
I had a dream. The river ghosts begged me for assistance. Me, a humble servant of the Lady of the Lake. A lifetime's chance to show my devotion.
Sure.
The old bridge I tended fell into ruin, yet the ghosts remained attached to it. They asked me to restore it to order.
How can I help?
Seems relatively
What my son
innocent.
and I erect in daytime is destroyed each night.
Oh.
I'll wager it's damnable grigs.
Huh?
My help will cost you.
Do you wish 400 orens, or a book about spectres and the king of the wild hunt? Or you can have
Possibly
my
the
son's help
latter.
during dangerous excursions. He's
Oh.
an excellent archer.
Let's trade.
Also
Is
sounds
it the old
maybe
wench
useful.
in the village? Beware, she's a witch, but she may know some means of driving off Griggs.
All right.
I admittedly don't know. Pat, you have anything to say about this?
Greetings, sir.
Never mind the sir. I'm Geralt.
'Tis a true honour. Geralt.
How are you with a bow?
Best in the village. I can hit an apple at 50 paces.
Great.
Alright.
Yes?
Don't you want to be a builder like your father?
Isn't
Not
that
really.
kind of what he's doing?
When my father refurbished our hut, the doors wouldn't close. The stairs are such that even the cat fears them, and when it rains...
I see.
Besides,
So,
I
what
prefer
you're
to use my
saying
bow.
is this bridge
One day, I'll
might
enter
not
tournament in
actually be
Zima.
getting broken every
Good
day.
luck.
It might just be that your
Yes?
father's incapable.
Farewell.
Okay, so unfortunately that does seem as though that is something that we would need to go back to the witch to talk about, and we did just talk to the witch, so maybe the order of operations here is not exactly ideal, but we're getting a chance to explore a little bit. In fact, can we maybe learn a little bit more about what's over here? I know we weren't able to cut through before, but maybe if we take a slightly different route, figure out what's here. So this was impassable, I think. Oh! This looks notable, though. And also looks like it would be very creepy at night, but a lot of stuff. Including some... Oh, yep! Including some diamond dust.
Interesting. This body
Like the stuff that we
may
just
be
spent.
long, but something keeps the bones from disintegrating.
Okay. That's not weird at all. Oh. Those wolves? Or those are wolves. That's like a pack of wolves. Very clearly a pack of wolves. It's just like, you know, keep on going in this direction real quick. And I'm not sure that we learned too much else other than just that there's a creepy little skeleton in that strange set of runes there. Other than that, the mountainous area, the hilly area. Alright, so back to the witch. Because it does seem as though that quest reward is something that we would like to get our hands on. Namely, probably the book about the Wild Hunt. Because I thought that the Hermit had one of those, but again, it was pretty expensive and we were wondering, would we be able to get this ourselves or would we need to purchase it directly?
What do you want?
This.
Grandma, Harn the Mason sent me.
What's that, Pops? Be nice or I'll turn you into a toad.
I meant
Oh.
no offense. May I ask you something?
Sure.
Harn is troubled by Griggs. At night, they destroy the bridge he is trying to repair by day.
Dumb as a doorknob, that man.
Oh.
The Griggs must be placated, perhaps with a gift.
Huh?
What kind of gift?
You must recover their
A
treasure.
sword. Oh.
What?
Another tribe of Griggs inhabits the crypt in the field.
Ah,
Truly evil and vicious. That tribe stole our Griggs' most prized possession, a cat harness.
Of course.
Cat harness?
Indeed. Griggs ride cats like
What?
humans ride horses. You must go to that crypt and recover the harness. Then I'll tell you what to do next.
Whatever
Where's the
these Griggs
harness?
are, they must be
The
pretty small if they're
Griggs place
riding
it in
cats.
their chapel as a gift to their gods. The chapel itself is a santon, resembling the kind placed at crossroads.
How do you know all this?
I've lived long.
And I'm secretly a Grig myself. Need to take a cat harness from the Griggs that live in the crypt and return to the healer's hut. So we did see the crypt on our way over here, and we were wondering, is that the same crypt in which we're expecting to find the Witcher? Is that something entirely different? Sounds like it is, in fact, something entirely different. But I think we'll head back there, and, well, I'm not sure if we need to go in there at night or not. That, I would assume, We could do at any time of day, because, I mean, if you're stuck in a crypt, it doesn't really matter if you're nocturnal or diurnal. You're locked in a crypt. Is this the town? Is this just another way to enter it? Or is this someplace entirely different? Oh! We've been here. Okay. We just didn't go through this way because we previously went through the fields, but alright, starting to get a better sense of, oh, okay. I was thinking about how, yes, we don't have a great idea as to how all these pieces fit together at the moment, and that does help us to figure out where one piece of the map fits into another piece of the map, like here, then it goes to fields if you go through here, and then the fields lead to that place where we just were, and then, which is Murky Waters, I guess, and then that leads here. So it's kind of like triple, and 3 pieces here, a triangle, 1, 2, and 3. And there's also a town over here that combines with Murky Waters that I thought we might have been headed towards, but that's the other crypt. Again, multiple crypts, wherever we go. Don't you forget it. They're different. Don't get them confused. That one that we were just looking at is the one that we are expecting to find the Witcher in. I want to see is if we can find the actual town, the actual village, and it looks like this is it. With pumpkins and everything. And what the heck is that? Okay, surprise treat. More wedding guests. Ooh, a blacksmith. I mean, if you could make swords out of the meteorites that we have, then that'd be pretty awesome.
Greetings.
Hello.
How can I help the gentleman?
Who might you be?
Master Handyman at your service. I handle repairs of all kinds, produce strange and non-standard objects, and I'm a capable creative blacksmith and carpenter.
Ooh. Sounds cool. I think that might be exactly what we were saying we would like to have. But, yeah, that is a non-standard objects is a very interesting description you have there of your services.
You're rather versatile.
One has to survive, so I offer other services. Besides, I have an expensive hobby.
A hobby?
My kin and I yearn to build a flying machine.
Oh!
We built several already, but none worked. We had to cover the pilot's medical expenses.
I see.
Yes?
The prices of medical insurance. Sounds like you don't have any, though. But you might want to look into that. Okay, blacksmiths can forge you new swords from meteorite. Left-click Forge in the dialogue, then select the sword type. You need at least 3 pieces of meteorite to forge a new sword. Blacksmiths can also burn runes into your silver sword. Only your silver sword. Okay, I'm not sure I realized that. Need, at least for the runes. Sounds like the meteorites you can use either steel or silver, but you do get to pick, which is key. But the runes are specifically for silver and only silver. Yeah, and you need at least 3 runes, so I would love if we could get either a 3rd red rune or a 3rd yellow rune and build those into our silver sword, because at the moment we have Parval, which is a powerful steel sword, but we don't have anything special for our silver sword, which does kind of stink. Oh. Oh, this would be just for selling. Okay, I was going to say, a little surprised that this was grayed out. Made me think that we would not actually be able to empower it like that, so I was like, okay, maybe everything I just said was not true. It seems as though that's only for selling and not upgrading.
Why so surprised?
Why so surprised?
Rarely do any buy arms in murky waters. I'm no salesman like my father.
Your father.
My father told me to sell arms. But if no one buys... but better not to argue with father.
Maybe he wanted you busy.
Perhaps. I'm to sit quiet and sell to those who want to buy.
You're the first person I've seen in 7 years. Whoa! So... There's a last red meteorite, in case we were wondering where we might find one. And there's a lot of blue meteorite. really wish you had one yellow. We have more than enough blue already. And it seems like yellow is just an objectively better version. Yeah, like, blue costs 300 per piece. Red costs 500. Yellow, I'm assuming, probably costs more still. Ooh, and these weapons, particularly... Oh. Whoa. Thought this was one of the types of elf weapons that we picked up earlier. And I was like, oh man, if we could sell that for 3,000 coins, then not bad at all. But this one's different. This one, as you can see, is Gwahir, which is Gandalf's eagle. So if we take this, then we will be able to fly into Mordor to Mount Doom, immediately destroy the ring, and completely destroy any plot that we were developing. So this is like the quick kill, the skip 90% of the story option, which we technically can afford. Could even afford to get both those things. Does seem pretty awesome. Is it just a better version of Carvel? Like it is, quite frankly. 50% damage and 40% chance to disarm, pain, and precise hit. Yeah. 20% more damage and 20% more chance to do all those status effects, so that's pretty impressive. I mean, we, as I was saying earlier, haven't had much time to use this guy, but I've been impressed. This is that much better. I mean, I definitely think we want to get this. Because, like I was saying before, we would very much like to find a silver sword. If this were a silver sword, not a steel one, then I would immediately purchase it. But I'm a little reluctant because the thing we're really looking for, more than anything, is silver sword upgrade.
Alvin admires you.
Oh. Is Alvin over here?
What was that? My regards, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, Alina's house, yes. Alina's the person we're looking for in that regard. Anyone else of note here?
Turn my nephew into a frog.
Oh dear. I heard what you were saying. If we maybe loot this? Sort of? Do you now? Now pardon me as I swipe all of your hard-earned goods and just run away with them.
Shame.
It is a shame. You're right. Okay, let's make sure that we talk to Alina. Oh wait, it's the prize-winning cow!
How strange.
Amazing!
Take a good look, Mr. Witcher. You're not likely to ever see another cow like this, and...
You're right.
She is impressive.
Look at that glistening coat. A tail, and that udder.
Best I've ever seen.
We plan to mate her with a champion bull from Bullsville.
Sounds like a reasonable place to find a bull.
A stock known round the world.
No doubt.
Ah, our strawberry is so beautiful.
Later.
Is that her name? The strawberry? Cow buff?
She gives 10 quarts of milk daily.
I don't really know anything about the rate at which cows produce milk, but that does sound like something. Okay, now if we could, like... Well, I thought I saw something good from here. I did. If we could find some coins. But mostly I was looking for the person who we are supposed to talk to here. Also a baker. Maybe we'll talk to you instead of Alina. You're sleeping even though it's... 1 o'clock?
You followed the aroma of my fresh bread?
Indeed.
You could say that.
All my goods contain finest flour and a secret ingredient from a grateful nymph.
Not sure I wanted to
I
hear
need
that.
something.
How may I help?
Have any other secret ingredients?
Sadly. Though I know one recipe I haven't been able to try.
Go on.
What's that?
Can't say. I would need white honey. though I know not what that is.
Might have some. And do we have any right now? Probably not. But maybe. About this hanged man's venom. I was thinking you might want to throw that in as a secret ingredient. Again, on the lack of insurance. Shouldn't be an issue, but maybe something you want to pursue.
Angry.
Oh, I mean, we did say we were going to gift him something and then proceed not to gift him anything. Okay, that's sorry, but not really anything that's particularly notable for our purposes. Apologies. Go back to sleeping in the middle of the day. Here it's great for business. And then finally, if we could just find where that Alina's hut was again. Thought I saw it. Blacksmith's house. When we went over here, yes.
I need a rest.
Is that you? No, it is not. Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings.
It's afternoon, technically, but okay.
Dandelion once sang a love ballad about a witcher.
How heartwarming.
Are witches
Thanks,
like
Dandelion.
knights, struggling against evil and villainy?
Dandelion, I'm sure, described my profession realistically.
The ballad was romantic. Lovers bound by destiny, unable to meet.
Romantic indeed.
I'm to marry soon. What brings you here?
Mostly
You
this.
taking care of Alvin?
Yes. He has such beautiful big eyes.
Yeah.
Sadly, my husband-to-be won't adopt Alvin.
Can I speak to Alvin?
Yes, he'll be in the village, or helping around the house.
Yeah, he's directly behind you.
Wait,
Thank you.
I have a request. If you happen to pass by the inn, would you be kind enough to look in on my fiancé? And perhaps see if my sister Selena can be found anywhere.
All these people asking us to talk to people who we just talked to.
We're not speaking. He's very irritated.
Oh.
We argued about Alvin.
Arguing already?
Julian wishes us
Great
to have
sign.
our own children. He wants to send Alvin to the Temple of Melatella, or to be trained as a witcher. You'll find him at the tavern.
I see.
Not Alvin, I hope. Technically, the way you were structuring that sentence grammatically means that you were saying that Alvin was that person? But there you are.
Treacherous vixen!
Okay. Not that that's my favorite secondary weapon, but I do have the slot open. And oh, we've already read it. We've seen several people have this prophecy lying around about the end of the world, and it seems to generally be an indication that people are a little messed up.
Hi, Geralt. I have a new home. It's nicer than Vizima was.
Is it really?
It's just that I missed you.
You like it here?
I do! Are we gonna kill monsters together?
Fighting monsters is very dangerous. Promise you'll avoid it whenever possible.
I promise. There are elves around here. One is really beautiful, but she argued with Mr. Tobias. Can we play Kill the Elf?
I really need to talk to you and Alina.
It's not Alina. All the kids play it. I'm always the Grand Master.
We'll talk later.
Okay. A little bit concerning that Alvin is so inclined to be violent when, in fact, we know that he's capable of potentially doing some pretty dangerous things, seeing as how he has some elder blood in him. But this is a good place, I think, for us to wrap things up for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.